Hello, and welcome to another episode of This Is Our Year. I'm your host, Michael Kurland, coming in hot today.
Oh yeah.
Joined as always by my partner in crime, Dougie Fresh.
What's up, Mike?
Douglas, how you doing today?
Oh, not as much existential dread, but we can work on that.
Hey, you're out of your goth phase. I like it.
I know, although I got the jacket ready if needed. So
Yes.
if we slip into baseball, but fuck that. We got some dude. We got a New York football renaissance happening. Before we get in the NFL, I got to give a shout out to my Orange, 6-0, 14th in the country. Dude, New York State, right? The Bills are what? 5-1. I didn't even look.
You're correct.
6-0. Giants 5-1. Your New York Jets started 1-2, now 4-2, and heading off to Denver, where this beer is from. And look, topical humor, scam likely. We all get the calls, right? Your vehicle's warranty.
Yep.
Important messages.
It's about to expire.
Drives my parents nuts because they answer all the calls and think they're real. Anyway, scam likely. Oh Jesus. Well, we're doing a double IPA again. Whoops.
I guess we do double IPAs when it's a negative day, and we do double IPAs when it's a celebratory day,
or just a day. But yeah. We do double IPAs. Wednesday morning hangover club.
There you go.
And yet again, scam likely out of Cerebral Brewing in Denver, which is, I believe, where the Jets are heading next. Is that correct?
They are the 4-2 New York Football Jets.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Who had any idea that this team, myself included, would be 4-2 after 6 games?
This is going to be a running theme in this show, but yeah, dude, go off.
I mean, what I have nothing negative to say. I was starting to, as you recall, a few weeks ago, I was starting to get on Salah's bad train. I was not happy with his play calling. I was not happy with anything he was doing from a defensive standpoint. And we kept running Joe, the stiff Frankenstein Flacco, out there to barely win 1 out of the first 3 games. But he did what he was supposed to do. He won 1 out of the first 3. And
even at a cringy press conference where everybody's wondering, can he handle New York? So quite the turnaround, huh?
Quite the turnaround. And now, Salah said he's taking receipts. Correct. You know, that was pretty much the turning point, right? Because since then, I don't believe we've lost a game, and we got our starting quarterback back.
Yep.
He's 3-0 in the chair, and you want to get nitpicky. He's not doing a lot, but he's following the blueprint of what the team wants him to do, which is don't turn the ball over.
The Daniel Dimes method.
Hey man, I think it's more the Jimmy Garoppolo method.
It is.
Coming from San Fran. I think that's the plan is, let's let this run game do what this run game was built to do. And this run game is doing what it was built to do. Breece Hall is turning into a superstar right in front of our eyes.
Letting superstars on both sides of the ball, I would say. But
yep. Our offensive line has finally calmed down and gotten settled in with the 5 guys that are running out there. And I don't think that's going to change when they bring anybody back. I think this is who our line's going to be for at least the rest of this year. And our receivers are looking good. Our tight ends are getting involved. We're starting to run 12 personnel like we wanted to do the last 3 games. Last game against Green Bay, we ran it more than anyone in the league. We had the league high for 12 personnel offense for week 6. Quinnen Williams is turning into a superstar on the defensive side of the ball. And, the media's starting to pay attention. He's in his 4th year.
4th year, yeah.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, this will be the year where we got to activate his 5th year option, which we probably already did, and he will be looking for that long-term contract, I believe. So
yeah, things are looking up, man.
Yeah, man. I cannot complain. So this is it's been great.
Yeah, I can't blame you for being fired up because they seem dominant. Now, we saw the same thing happen to the Pack last week. Just absolutely beat down in the second half, right? You guys just shut them down. I didn't get to see much of the game. We were we had that conflict again with the Giants. But it seems like you guys got after Rodgers, kind of frustrated, and the Pack abandoned their running game. They barely gave the ball up, like to Jones and Dillon, right?
Yeah. So I mean, our defense is, fantasy football. Pick up the Jets defense. I haven't said that in probably a decade. Pick up the Jets defense. They're playing crazy good football right now. You can't run on them. You can't pass on their cornerbacks. Sauce Gardner is a Pro Bowler after 6 games. He has held opponents to the lowest QBR,
whatever the rating is.
Yeah, it's like 19% when he's in man coverage. She had 2 of the great pass defenses against their receivers last week. So he shut down Jamar Chase. He shut down a couple of other big receivers so far. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. The kid's for real, right? So they're
pick 6 on like the first play, although it got called back though. Yes, second play, right?
Yes, correct. So I don't know, man. The first win against Cleveland, I was. It was a miracle, whatever. I'm not excited about the second win against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Okay. Pittsburgh's not a great team. We went down to the final, quarter with them and we pulled it out. And then we beat Miami with their 3rd string quarterback. So that was the excuse there. But, maybe Green Bay's not good, but we went in to Green Bay and beat a Hall of Fame quarterback at home. And that's a big win. That's a big win. That's like the kind of win that starts turning the tides and making this team believe that they can win against anyone.
Without a doubt. And Green Bay was coming in 3-2. It's not like they've had a shitty year. Right? I mean, they started 3-0. So, yeah, man, props. You're saying it's more the game plan?
And I think LaFleur, what I've seen is the defense has all of a sudden stepped up and started playing. You can't run on the Jets right now. It's really hard to run on them, and you can't pass on the Jets. So I don't know how that one drive that Rodgers got on him was a couple of dink and dunks and then a good back shoulder pass to Lazard who snuck in the end zone.
Right.
What are you going to do? But the offensive game plan is if you watch LaFleur, if you watch San Francisco and you understand that offense, that scheme, that Shanahan scheme, they run a lot of the same formation to set up different plays later in the game. So they do a lot of motion, and it's out of that 12 formation. And on the Barrios touchdown, it was like the same thing as a handoff to a running back up the middle, right? So you always get this wide receiver running, and you're hiking it when the receiver's crossing behind the quarterback, and so the defense gets confused. Right. So do you hand it off, or you hand it off, you pitch it back, or even on that trap play that Hall took to the house, which was a broken play. He was supposed to pitch it back to Garrett Wilson on another receiver end around, but he just beat the whole. And if you look at the video, he took it, and he beat 7 Green Bay defenders on his own. He stiff armed one guy, and then no one else could touch him. So
you gotta love
it. I love it, dude. I just love this offense is built on the running game and then play action, and I think that
similar to the Giants
gets into Wilson's strong suit. So I think we're just setting up things not only from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, but from week to week. And I think as the season goes on and those looks become more and more, you're going to be confusing teams with what they're going to be seeing. So I'm excited for it. I think it's a good offense for Wilson to grow in. And I think when he needed to make a throw, he made a throw. He hit Corey Davis for 41 yards on a rollout.
Right.
Does he need to work on his accuracy a little bit more? Sure. Can he get rid of the ball a little bit faster? Yes. So I really like the direction we're moving in. I got no complaints.
Yeah, and again, like the Giants, you guys came out in the second half and just kind of took it to them, and I think you got them on their heels, and that was it. So
we own the fourth quarter.
We
own the fourth quarter. Lead the league in fourth quarter scoring and fourth quarter defense right now.
Is that right? Because I would have guessed the Giants are up there too.
Who would have believed either of those things? So
yeah, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, we were supposed to be talking about the stupid Mets into like November. And and here we are getting excited about these teams who thought, like, let's be honest, we thought they would kind of suck. I don't know what I don't remember your expectations, but I don't think they were great.
No, and they were not great.
We were ready to tank over here,
Yeah, you guys were
That's not
riding that
happening.
train to
Just
Young, right?
yeah,
you wanted the Alabama quarterback,
Stroudtown.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That appears to be off now, but dude, it goes to show that it's not everything being at the top of the draft. I mean, you picked up Wilson and Hall and not Williams, D lineman, and who am I forgetting? A Sauce. You guys went nuts, and it's looking like a hell of a under 24 roster all of a sudden over there.
Yeah, all these guys are playing significant minutes. They're moving in the right direction, and they're progressing, and that's what I've been really impressed with from your coaching staff is the ability to get your players to progress and get the most out of a lot of guys. Unfortunately, you got some guys that you're not getting the most out of, but you don't even miss them like Tony and Galladay, right?
Right.
But you guys are coaching up a guy like Daniel Jones who was left for dead. You guys are coaching up
the whole roster was left for dead.
Yeah, a whole roster. You guys couldn't even make any moves this offseason other than signing Tyrod Taylor, right? And your draft picks because you had no cap space.
Yeah,
so,
dude. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head other than the scrap that's been playing wide receiver.
Right. So let's talk about the scraps that have been playing wide receiver and those 5-1 New York Giants, Douglas.
It's incredible, right? Like this happened again. I gotta stop being like in the fourth quarter, being like, all right, well, this team put up a hell of a fight. It looks like the Ravens have this thing in hand, but you can't be like. I was just ready for that narrative, and they make Lamar. They forced 2 Lamar turnovers. All of a sudden, speaking of counterpunching or body blow after body blow, I love that quote down there from Salad, by the way. All of a sudden we're up and the Ravens are panicking. They got away from their game. They were running the ball on us all day. But yeah, they hang around, they fight. That quote from Dable down there sums it up perfectly, man. Team doesn't give up. And
you got a little help. You got a little help on that last interception from Lamar.
You got to throw that ball away, Lamar.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there. He threw it into double coverage, but
after a broken snap, I mean, he's a god, but he can't do everything.
And I think you can see that team is just lost right now. They, Dobbins hasn't returned to form as quickly as they had hoped, which most people didn't think he was going to anyway. And Lamar, you got rid of his best receiver, and all he's got is Andrews right now.
I know.
And if you shut down Andrews,
there's nothing there.
Which Sauce Gardner did. If you shut down Andrews, then what do they really have to throw to? They got Duvernay and a couple other scrap heap guys as well.
Right, James Prochet. Oh.
Yeah, Bateman's been injured for most of the year, so they're playing down, but their defense is a shell of what it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
They cannot stop anyone, and they cannot hold a lead. They've literally held a lead in all 6 of their games by double digits and lost 3 of them.
They were up on Buffalo like most of that game, right, or something like that. But that's a great call, and I have a ton to say about the G-men. But just to go back, I mentioned this last week with the Barry Trotz coming in and like making the Garth Snow pieces actually like be all of a sudden everybody is good. Same thing's happening here. It's especially on the defensive side of the ball. Wink's been incredible. They still kind of blitzed. They sort of blitzed the hell out of Lamar. It was never like full blitz. Like it was always like 6 guys, but they kept crossing them up. Lamar and Kenyon Drake were able to run all over us, but again, they keep tightening up in the second half and giving teams fits, and they took advantage of the opportunities. Like, actually, we're 31st in run defense. It's crazy, right? The 5-1 team. You just the Shanahan offense should work against us, but somehow we're pulling it off. So. Yeah, dude, I'm a full believer now. I got to stop being like, oh, good effort, because that's what I was doing Sunday at 3:45 or whenever it was.
Yeah, I think
another second half stunner.
I think that the beautiful thing for both of us is everything from this point forward is house money.
Right.
Everything that happens from now until the end of the year is house money, right? So you go. I mean, if you went 5-12, I think that would be still a disappointing season, right? Because that would be 11 losses in a row, and I don't see that happening. Same thing if we went 4-13 with 11 losses.
Oh God,
in a row.
well, yeah, that's not happening. But
yeah. I mean, I
thought you meant before the season if we had gone 5-12. That's
no, I mean from this point forward, right? Like that would be the only way that this season becomes back to being a disappointment.
And honestly, if that happens, it's not the worst thing in the world. Right. I mean, there's your decision on Daniel Jones.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, you got Taylor signed through next year. The beautiful thing is, if you don't draft a quarterback this year, but you know what? Let's not even waste our time talking about that.
Exactly.
Right?
No, I'm not interested in that conversation.
Yeah, because you're going to Jacksonville this weekend, and we're going to Denver. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about going to Jacksonville? What are your thoughts?
Jacksonville's kind of a trap all of a sudden because they're not as bad as everybody thinks they are. I think the league's realizing that it's actually a defense that can play. And I don't know if you saw what Lawrence was doing against the Colts. That was like a shootout. And he barely had any completions, I think. I think he set a record for completion percentage in yards and a loss or something crazy. So that's not a gimme. And as you mentioned, it's on the road. The Giants are weird. Their schedule looks great. Jaguars, Seahawks, Houston, Detroit, and then a big showdown against Dallas on Thanksgiving. I guess that means 2 games against Philly in December. I mean, dude, it's going to be a hell of a ride all of a sudden. We're going to have shit to talk about. I love it. I love it.
Your team is in second place. Yeah. And I think, based on the way that you're the number 1 wild card seed right now, is that correct?
Probably.
Because the rest of the NFC is poop. It's absolute trash.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So it's a good year to be 5-1 after 6 games.
It's incredible, man. Yeah. It just goes to show we don't know anything.
No.
Ever.
So you think this is a trap game against Jacksonville? You're worried about that up and coming?
Once I get invested in a team, I get worried about every game. I think they can beat them. I'm not saying they won't. You know what? How can I doubt this team right now?
Yeah, man. You just said no more good efforts, right? I think you guys go into Jacksonville and you handle business. You blitz the hell out of Lawrence. You put him on his back quite a few times, and hopefully you shut him down. By
the way, shout out to Thibodeau. Really, really, really coming into his own. We missed out on Sauce, but it looks like we got a damn good player. And look at that. That's a lot of that with the strength of schedule is the Eagles. To be fair, but it's good.
Is that based on this year or is that based on last year?
I'd hope it's this year.
Yeah, I would hope so too.
But
I actually think that our schedule is not this year. Thank you, Matt. I think our schedule also, based on the opponents, we're in a pretty good spot. We got a couple of tough teams, Bills twice, the Bills to your Eagles. We got Miami and New England twice. I think we can take one of those games at least.
The NFC East is kind of trouble, huh?
The AFC East,
yeah.
The AFC East and the NFC East are the darlings of football right now.
It's back. It's the 90s again.
It's the 90s. Welcome back. Oh,
I love it. It's my sweet spot. So, look, Thibodeau, I gave a shout out to. Also, Wan'Dale. Wan'Dale's back. You're going to see him be in just a bigger role every week. When they picked him as high as they did, second round, I thought that was a clear message that he's going to get the ball a lot. So it was really good to see him back. Has some drop problems, but almost every young receiver does. And I don't know. I think we're going to forget about it. I mean, Tony can come back if he wants. Dude, stop. Just play football, man. But not really missing him, are we? And Galladay, I don't even talk about.
Hopefully you can get out of Galladay's contract after this year, at least.
Yeah, that's in Shane we trust. Dude, in Kafka we trust. These game plans have been great. So
yeah, man, I love it. I love it. So we feel good. We feel good about our teams. I love it.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of player ratings, who's the top-rated quarterback last 3 weeks? Quick.
Daniel Jones. Interesting. Interesting. Is that PFF?
I don't know what that is.
Because PFF is trash.
Probably. I think the stat is EPA, and I don't know what EPA is. But
Expected passing
attempt.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're really on shit on this show.
We know how to drink. We know how to drink and complain. So.
We're out of our comfort zone.
Stats, analytics, what? So, Doug, we had Isles opening night this past week.
On to hockey.
Hockey. We had Isles opening night. We had another game after opening night. How do you feel? How do you feel about the first two games of the season based on our?
Did you take a look at my show notes today? Because
I did not.
I'll read it back to you because I do a thing where I try to remember all the game results, especially for like hockey and basketball because it's like 80 games. So I have versus Florida lost 3-1, and then the note, all caps, same old Isles, fuck this team, fuck Lou. Does that sum it up after game one?
I will say, to segue on game one, we looked good defensively. We looked defensively responsible
against a damn good team.
But, damn good team. We really, I don't know how they got their third goal. Was it an empty netter? Or
it might have been.
So an empty netter, and then the first goal was, it ricocheted off the guy's stick on a redirection. I mean, that was not bad defense. That was not anything. That was the Isles just playing a good team, right? So
although they did that thing where they tied it up and then gave up, a goal within 30 seconds.
Yes,
which was very Jack Capuano.
Yes, I missed that, unfortunately, but you got to watch all of it. So
anyway, I loved it. So anyway, note on the second game, win versus Anaheim, 7-1. New era dawns. Lane is God. New system. G-Men activate. We're going to win the cup, right?
No, yeah, we got
Anaheim sucks, dude. So
Anaheim.
That was fun though.
Yeah, I couldn't watch any of it because it's blacked out here because that's our home team, and
you couldn't even get the Isles feed.
No, they won't give you either feed on ESPN Plus if it's your local team. So I can't watch any Kings.
Making you drive to Anaheim.
Ducks. Well, that game was in New York, so I had no option. I had to go to the bar. I had to go to the bar, and my wife had already agreed to go watch the Jet game with me on Sunday, so I wasn't going to drag her out and make her watch a hockey game on Saturday.
Hockey, yeah, that's
9 months pregnant, not doing 2 days at the bar. That's irresponsible.
Should we get a picture, honey?
Yes, exactly.
How's everybody? How's she doing, by the way? Everything good?
Yeah, nine and a half months pregnant. So here's the whole thing. Here's the whole farce of the thing, right? They tell you it's 9 months till you have a baby. It's not. It's fucking 10 months, dude. It's 10 months of pregnancy. It's 40 weeks, 4 divided by 10, or unless you want to count those extra 2 weeks that somehow get in the calendar. And so she's 38 weeks on Friday. So we got, 2.5 weeks left, and she's ready for the baby to come. I'm ready for the baby to come.
Oh God.
And
finish line is close. And I'm sure she's looking forward to that first drink.
Yes. So I'm going to actually quit drinking again, cold turkey, when the baby comes, and I won't have another drink until she wants to have her first drink. That's my next goal. Yeah. Yeah, I like these little pauses that my liver also likes them. My waistline also likes them. So.
I didn't realize you were drinking again, but I guess it's 2:00 on a Tuesday. So.
Yeah, I just can't make this time slot work for alcohol if I want my pregnant wife to.
Yeah, I think you have a job.
I have a job as well.
Something about a job.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Anyway, back to the Isles. So, rapid reaction there. How are you feeling? You didn't see much.
I saw the first two periods, and I watched the replay afterwards. I like the fact that we've had 6 goals. 6 of our 8 goals come from defensemen so far. Right. I like that Wahlstrom played in the second game. He was hurt in the first game. It wasn't some, benching. It was actually because he had an injury he was recovering from. And I like that he had a nice breakaway, put the puck past
sweet goal
Gibson. Yeah, that was really nice.
And he needs that, man. He needs the confidence. He really hasn't been right since he got destroyed in the playoffs against the Penguins a couple years ago.
No.
So yeah, we got San Jose, Devils, Tampa, Florida. God, that Florida trip's a nightmare. But
that's okay.
At least they're getting it over with. And so anyway, we got Sorokin. And I think Varley's going tonight. We'll see how he looks. I believe the Sharks are still rebuilding too. So
they're 0-4. They started off in the Prague series and against Nashville to start the season a week early that no one talked about. And
I didn't even know that happened. They played in Prague.
Yeah, so the Sharks and the Predators played in Prague. It was called the Global Series. It was the kind of how like baseball starts in there was literally no media coverage around it.
Good job, Ben.
Seriously, worst fucking commissioner out there. But who's that? Oh,
Manfred.
Manfred's just a lawyer for the owners. He's not really a commissioner. Yeah. But so Bettman, they did the Global Series. It's in Prague. They did like a 2-game series in the Czech Republic, and Nashville won both games. San Jose looks terrible. They're 0-. They've come home and then proceeded to lose 2 more. Also, side note, Dominik Hasek, famous Hall of Fame Czech goalie, came out and said, if you allow please don't allow Russian players to play in this Global Series. And Bettman ignored his pleas. So then the Czech Republic has now banned the NHL from playing in the Czech Republic until further notice. So went really, really wrong. Didn't go well at all from all aspects. It wasn't broadcast anywhere. Maybe it was on NHL Network that nobody has. I don't have access to, nor do I want to pay for access to it. I don't know if you do, but
no. But like all this stuff about blackouts is like probably the main reason I never want to move. I want to move for a lot of other reasons, but that's huge in the negative column, man. I don't get it, but
it's the only blackouts I get are the Kings and the Ducks. So 4 games a year, I get blacked out, but I usually end up going to the 2 here.
Yeah.
So I usually miss the 2 there.
I don't understand. Oh, I guess I do because they want you to subscribe to cable, I guess, but I don't understand blacking out the road games. Anyway, let's get back on track. And I don't want to get off on this either, but blaming the players for Putin's geopolitical moves, I don't get either. I think the players should be able to get the hell out of Russia. So I don't that goes for Wimbledon and all that shit too. Like none of that really made sense to me.
I think it's just like you said, it's a political move to put pressure using their biggest platform that they can to use a big platform. And
I don't think he gives a shit, but
no, if you can we did our Global Series in Prague. I don't know when the next time we're going back to Prague to do a Global Series would be. So I don't know. I guess it was just a statement to make a statement. But again, I don't know. San Jose, I hope it's Varley in goal tonight. They're 0-4 unless they played in the last day or 2 that I haven't checked on.
I think they are, and they keep giving up leads after the first. So looking forward to that. Real quick, you mentioned the defense. Defense looks a lot better. I mean, that is one huge takeaway. Some of it is the system, but I think I think it's personnel. Romanov takes penalties and sometimes gives it up, but man, he'll lay you out at the blue line. He hits people. Islanders fans gonna love this guy. I know I'm repeating myself. I'm not sure if his offensive game is there, but he's good enough to skate and find the open man on the breakout. So props to him, and also props to Robin Salo, who had a really, really rough night against Florida. A couple of penalties and a direct turnover into a goal. And of course, he got a couple of goals on Saturday, even though some of them were kind of like
they were both trash. I mean, the goalie should have stopped both of them.
Gibson and whoever had a rough night.
Stoltz, it was a rough night.
You don't give up 2 goals to Scotty Mayfield. I love you, Scotty, but
his one blast was a goal. The other one was both his goals were actually not bad. He crashed the net on one and he blasted one from not the point. It was more like he was in between the circles. He had skated down pretty far.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm thinking of the first one, I guess.
I mean, the first one he just jumped up in the play and then somehow.
He'll do that, and with Salo covering for him, I think that's a good idea. Now, there's going to be a bunch of articles about how the D-men are like getting more involved, and they are. But I think another thing that's happening is that Lambert is loosening the ties on the forwards a bit as well, and they're flying up the ice looking for that breakout as well. I mean, let's keep an eye on it. It's only been a couple of games.
It's been 2 games.
It looks different.
Yeah, against what was the best team in the NHL during the regular season last year, who looks to have gotten better. and adding.
Although their D is suspect.
Yeah, but they added Kachuk, and they have they did give up a lot to get him, but I think Bobrovsky also is back to being Bobrovsky. He's not terrible.
I know. Yeah, he was good.
And so, what are you going to do against a team like that? You see where you stack up. I think we went toe to toe with them. It was opening night. It was a lot of stuff going on, and then we handled business against Anaheim. I can't ask for a better outcome. Maybe a shutout. If you want to be nitpicky, but whatever. They played a great game, and I hope they do the same thing against San Jose tonight. Because you could do what the Toronto Maple Leafs did and come out with these like Stanley Cup aspirations and lose to two of the worst teams in the NHL.
I love it.
In the first four, right?
I love it. Definitely keep Sheldon Keefe for another few years. It's working. It's working, guys.
Yeah, and John
I love reading those. Like, oh, it's the Leafs year. It's Cup time.
Dude, they lost to the Arizona Coyotes last night.
That's embarrassing.
Dude, I read a stat, and I'm not sure if this is correct, but hopefully Matt can look this up for us. I read that the Toronto Maple Leafs have not won against the Arizona Coyotes, either at home or on the road. I think it's at home in 10 years. The Coyotes have beaten Toronto. It's either in Toronto or in Arizona. I'm pretty sure it's in Toronto for the last 10 years straight.
That's pretty ridiculous. Austin Matthews must be a sleeper agent. He's from Arizona.
There it is. A point in every game in Toronto for the last 20 years. Thank you, Matt.
Go Coyotes.
Go Coyotes. I mean, that is a great
Coyotes
stat right there.
Man. Let's go. I need a West Coast team.
And I also, you don't want to be a Coyotes fan. They're playing in a AAA stadium. They're playing in a college.
No, I think that would be an awesome game experience, though. I'd want to go to a game there.
I don't think they're selling beer, though. I think that's also a part of the problem. Right.
Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. So what are you going to do? But I watched that they were the opening night game against Montreal, and it was last Tuesday, a week ago, and I was getting all fired up waiting for Thursday for the Isles to drop the puck. So I'm like, I'll watch a little bit of this. Let's go Montreal. And, I pay attention to most of the transactions, but I had totally forgot that the Maple Leafs had replaced Jack Campbell, who was not great, in goal with Matt Murray, who is really not great and is now out for like 2 months. And I don't know who their goalie is at this point, but yay, Toronto.
That guy Dubas, I'm surprised he still has a job. The Tavares signing was bad. Let's call it like it is. Like they way overreach. And you're right, they've never figured out goaltending. Like what happened to Freddie Anderson?
I mean, they traded him to Carolina, and he's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, they picked up Samsonov from the Capitals.
We were way off.
Flippy, flappy,
Samsonov.
Way off. But from the line combinations, we talked about them last week. Barzal with Parisi and I'm blanking right now. Barzal, Parisi.
Exactly. I was trying to think of a joke. Like Barzal is like a blank because he's got no wings, and all I could think of was like a burned out B-dubs or a rocket. If you could fill that in, but he's got no wings. Yeah. I love Parise. He's 38 years old.
He's 38 years old. He is 38 years old.
KP 5-year contract.
Kyle Palmieri. There you go.
Please do something. Please, like poke him with a stick. No, he got his requisite goalpost the other night, so he's in mid-season form.
It's okay.
Dude, I'm a little bit of a hater on that guy because it turned out that they should have kept Everly. At least it looks like it for now, but who knows? Maybe he surprises me.
But Everly's also playing in a different system where I think he's allowed to not be defensively responsible.
Yes and no, but he was definitely better than Palmieri's been here.
Fair.
At the time, and it's the ex-Devil thing. Like when I start to get annoyed at Lou, I think about guys like Kyle Palmieri. Cheers. Yeah.
So you hate the line combo with Barzal?
I haven't seen anything yet.
Fair enough.
And he's got 3 assists. The power play looks good, by the way. I don't know if you haven't seen much of this team yet, but Power play is encouraging. The Brock line is great. And if Wahlstrom can bring that every night, and it's good to see Tito get a goal too. So if these guys can bring it every night, we're back.
We're back. I think we are who we thought we were. We are the team that is probably middle of the pack in the playoff hunt. I don't think we're going to be, 7 or 8. I think we're going to be fighting for 3rd through 6th seed, and we'll see where that takes us. So we got 78, 80 games to go. So
it'll be fun.
I can never remember if it's 82 or 80 games in the NHL.
It's 82, I think, but it'll be fun. Probably frustrating as hell at times, but it's a full season without any bullshit. Or at least let's hope so.
Yep, and
that's all you ask.
We got some depth, and every year Lou will just dangle that first round pick because he does not care about the future.
For Adam Henrique, one of these years, Henrique's coming over.
Maybe we can, go get ourselves a wing for Barzal at the trade deadline and someone that he can jive with and be a little bit more of an offensive shot in the arm.
Yeah, who else played on the Devils?
Let's not worry about the Devil, any ex-Devils. They're talking about
PK Subban out of retirement.
Oh God, that guy is so annoying. He was the worst. I hope he does not get into the broadcast booth.
He will.
He will. But he's the worst.
Hopefully replacing Milbury at least.
Didn't Milbury retire? Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I have heard that they're looking for Patrick Kane. Kane wants out of Chicago, and I think he would love to play with Barzal. I think he's actually said something similar to that on record.
He's a big fan of Matty's game. He is.
Yes, I think that's what he said. So,
but you know how that's going to end.
He'll be on the Rangers. Yeah. But who knows? Well, a kid can dream. So
it's October.
Hope springs eternal in October. Yeah, hope springs eternal. If we can win the next 2 games and go 3-1 to start the year, points in 3 out of the first 4.
Let's go.
I'm not complaining.
Just bank points.
Bank.
Hopefully, we have enough to talk about with this team all year, because you and I fucking love hockey.
Love it. I actually I bought tickets to. So my birthday and Alex's birthday is in March, and the Isles are in California for their road trip right after our birthday. So I definitely got us tickets to see the Ducks. Not sure if we're going to go all the way out to LA with a brand new baby, but we will be going to the Ducks game, and it will be nice.
March, huh? March. Maybe we'll do a show from out there.
Hey man,
you'll have to take me to Staples Center if that's the case. I've never been.
I will take you if you come out here in March and come to the game in Anaheim. We'll go to LA and we'll do the show live from one of the other 2.
I want to be anywhere but Connecticut in March. So hell yeah, brother.
Not a bad place to be out here in California. Right. It's not a bad place to be. So, Dougie, we got might as well get a bold one out of the way early. Yes, that's this was Kevin Kurz who said they thought the speculation was going to be Kane heading over to the Islanders.
Oh, stirring it up.
Swing at it.
Yeah,
taking a swing at it. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I don't know what we would give up.
I don't know either. I'm pretty sure he's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, I think he is. There's your one at least.
Definitely. But at this point, if we're in the thick of things and we can, get all put together, I love it, dude. I love it. Let's do it.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Like don't get me wrong. I'll believe when I see it.
Agreed. So the last thing on our agenda today, Doug, is the Brooklyn Nets season preview. I know you're all ready and chomping at the bit for this. I know you're excited.
I saw the clip. I saw the airball clip. This guy is a master. I know he didn't post it, but this dude is a master at social media, man. After that shit over the summer. I love this team, and I'm not even a fan of this team, just how chaotic they are. Oh yeah, take it away.
So I think the team is starting to gel. I don't care about don't care about the Brooklyn and the Park Day. They do that every year for the fans. They go down to.
But why did they post that?
I don't know. Who cares? Bill Simmons, Ben Simmons.
You know what? I don't even know who posted it. Maybe it wasn't.
I don't know either. But whatever.
It was just so perfect, though.
Yes, it looked like me shooting a three. But Ben Simmons doesn't shoot threes, so who cares?
It was like a 10-footer.
If you've watched any of the last couple preseason games, they've looked like a good team. They've started gel. Kyrie supposedly has been on his best behavior this offseason, this training camp. Who knows how long that's going to last? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think this team's going to win the championship.
4 days.
4 days, yeah. He's going to immediately want to fly to Vegas after Game 3 and just have a week off. Yep. But I think we're built better than we were last year. We're built to possibly handle an injury or two, and I think this team can hang with anyone in the East or West for that matter. And if everything goes right, we have championship aspirations.
Sure.
The problem with the team isn't the talent. No one is questioning the talent. It's can they all play and show up and play together on a night in and night out basis.
And I'll take a little further. Do they have a goddamn half-court offense this year?
I mean,
it seems like they could always run, but they just get lost when they have to set
So quite the opposite. That's actually what killed their season last year. Is they got away. So D'Antoni left before last year. He retired. Right. He ran the offense for Nash. He basically was the head coach, and Nash was the figurehead. And so D'Antoni had them running. They had the highest offense ever in the history of the NBA. Team was great. And then
team was pretty damn close to the finals too, obviously.
Yes, by a big Kevin Durant's big toe.
Right.
And so it wasn't to the finals, though. I believe it was to the conference finals.
I think they would have beaten Miami. I think that was the team. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
So they didn't make it. D'Antoni retires, and then Kyrie doesn't get vaccinated. The whole shit hits the fan.
Harden drama.
Harden gets pissed off, and they turn from a running team to an ISO heavy team. And every time up the court for the first half of the year, it was Harden, taking it up slow, backing it in, and just either looking for a three or looking for Durant. And the other three guys were standing there. Right. We also were missing Joe Harris, who injured himself in game 2 or 3.
How's he doing? He's back full.
He's not going to be there for the opener. Neither him nor Seth Curry are going to be there for the opener, which definitely hurts our 3-point shooting. But they should both be back within a week is what they're saying. So what I saw in preseason is that we are getting back to getting out on the break, which is what Nash wants to run. Kyrie wants to run. KD wants to run. Everyone wants to run. So they were running in the preseason. The first couple of games didn't matter. Everyone's playing a couple minutes. Didn't matter. There was the guys that aren't going to make the team are getting 10, 15 minutes of run, right? But the last 2 games, it was like a full regular season game. KD, Kyrie, Simmons. Simmons is playing that point center, which I don't think anyone else has ever had played before. So he's bringing the ball up and then he's dishing it. And if they're not running, and he's getting it to Kyrie, he's getting it to Durant, and then he's playing center. And he's down there for that little pop and shot, like coming off those pick and rolls and getting to the basket. And
that 10-footer he's been working on.
Yes, that 10-footer. But no, just slash into the basket. If you watched last year and the year before, Bruce Brown was the guy that would come off on the screens, and he would get the ball and he would pop that little lob shot. And that's where I think Bruce Brown's 6'4", right?
He's a little guy.
Ben Simmons is 6'10". 6'10". Yeah, and I think that's the guy we'll probably miss the most, but he's probably going to be redundant on this team.
Where did he end up, by the way?
Denver. Yeah, he went out to Denver. But we picked up a couple of guys. We picked up Royce O'Neal to be our 3-and-D small forward. I think that's going to help us tremendously as a guy that can play some defense. That's another thing we didn't really do last year.
OG Parole, Lock City, represent Stanford.
Very nice.
So, as a very, very casual fan, first of all, the fact you said Ben Simmons is just playing is That's big for you guys. So
Absolutely.
And you're right. If they're going to be running again, they're going to be one of the more entertaining teams in the league. I mean, you just with the personnel. So
correct.
So you're pretty hyped. On the defensive side, how are you feeling?
Again, Royce O'Neal, 3-and-D guy. KD can play defense. He's not a bad defender. Ben Simmons is all NBA defender. I think our defense is going to be better than it was last year. We picked up Markieff Morris, who's now our.
Oh, you got a Morris brother. Nice.
We got a Morris brother who's taken over for Johnson from last year, who was our muscle. Yeah, so we got a little bit of muscle. We got some scoring off the bench. Cam Thomas, Seth Curry. I like our chances, man. I like our chances.
Is back.
Who's this?
Gioza, the guy who makes me.
Oh, Chioza, yeah. Yes. Cheese, yeah. Chris Chioza. I don't know if he actually made the team, but he probably will be in the D League or G League or whatever the hell it's called.
Edwards back? Who am I forgetting? Nice.
Kessler Edwards is back, but he's not going to be thrust into a big minutes role. Patty Mills is back. Claxton's back. He's our starting center.
Yep.
So we got a good team. We got some rookies that got some good minutes last year that I think are going to be better this year, and I think we got every chance of making the playoffs this year.
Broken to better.
Broken.
The 2023 Brooklyn Nets story. Is that anything? We'll go with it. No. All right. When's tip for a casual fan like me? I have no idea.
I believe the Nets home opener is. I don't believe it's their home opener, but their opening game is, I believe, tomorrow. Let's see.
Oh shit.
No, yeah, tomorrow at home against New Orleans Pelicans. Zion comes to town.
Wow.
I guess that's another guy that is going to finally get to play, him and Simmons. So that'll be exciting.
Oh, dude, we can have multiple stars get injured immediately. That's fun. Do you care to comment on Matt put across the rumor that you guys would have picked up the Boston coach like immediately if he had gotten fired?
I'm sorry, I pulled a rookie mistake and ripped my earphones out and heard nothing you said.
No worries. Matt put across the rumor that you guys would have picked up the Boston coach if he gotten fired, like immediately, just snapped him up.
I mean, 100%. Why would they suspend a guy for a year and not say he's definitely coming back next year if they weren't afraid of someone else picking him up? It's the only thing that makes sense, right? Okay. So I believe it 100%. I definitely questioned why the hell is this team not just firing the guy outright, and it's because they don't want him coaching another franchise for this season, specifically us. Yes, because Steve Nash is again still a figurehead of a coach. He brought in a new guy this year. What was his name? I don't know. I'm gonna butcher it, but Koskinov. He was a coach for Igor Kokoskov. He was he was on Phoenix with Nash back in the years when Nash was still playing, and hopefully he can fill that role of D'Antoni and help this team get better.
Igor Kokoskov. I barely know Kokoskov. Sorry. Okay. So is follow-up question then would be, is Steve Nash on a short leash?
I don't know, man. Again, we've talked about this in the past. He's a figurehead. Mark seems to like him. He's not drawing up X's and O's at timeouts. He's basically a cheerleader. I don't know what the point of him is, to be honest. But with Kyrie and KD, who are they really going to listen to? I don't know. I don't know.
Should we put to sleep all the shit from over the summer with the trade requests and all that? Just bury it. Let's go.
I think if we get off to a hot start, if we get off to a hot start, yes. I think if we don't get off to a hot start, then we could be in big trouble. And and I think if the team starts to stumble, I think you'll see trade requests happen again and quite possibly happen.
So it'll be a circus again. Okay.
It will be a circus again. So
any thoughts on the East overall?
I think Boston took a step back. Obviously, you're bringing in you're getting rid of a coach that I think was paramount in taking 5 players and making them a team and a unit. I don't think there's Tatum really stepped up, but I still don't think he's amazing. I think he's a top player in the NBA. I don't think he's a superstar quite yet. Maybe I'm selling him short, but the rest of that team played as a unit, as a team, and I don't know what this new coach is going to do. Miami, year older, Jimmy Butler has miles on those knees. Atlanta took a huge step back. Philly, I think Philly's going to be tough. And I think, Chicago took a step back. Cleveland took a step forward. Toronto is older as well. I still think they're tough, but I don't think that they've gotten better or worse. So they're probably treading water. So, yeah, man, I don't know.
Atlanta take a step back. I thought they added Murray.
They took a step back last year. I don't know what they've done to take a step forward this year, but we'll see.
Anyway, Knicks and Nets. Thank you, Matt. Tipping off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the Knicks for our Knicks fan watcher, viewer, listener?
I think same thing, similarly to what I said about the Celtics. I don't think they have any superstars. RJ Barrett has gotten better and better every year. Will he take that leap this year? Thibodeau plays a very defensive-minded style and a team unit style. So if they can stay within he's very much like the Trotz of basketball. He's very demanding, and his stuff, grinds on players after a while.
Yep.
So do I think that they're going to take a step forward this year? Probably. I think I think they missed the playoffs last year, and they were right around 500. Is that correct?
Yep.
So I think this year they'll get over 500 and maybe be fighting for that last play-in berth. So we'll see.
Knicks Nets round 1, just like 94. Let's do it.
Hopefully they don't undercut Kenny Anderson and break his wrist. John Starks, fuck you.
You remember.
I do. Very much so. All right, Dougie. It's been a great episode, my friend.
Nice show.
What you got to say today?
Hey, honorable mention to the Dodgers, but via con Dios, Atlanta Barbs, fuck off.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Good night. And did you also see the stat, not to extend the show, where the Braves are complaining that they didn't have any night games because they were extremely well off at night games and they were very poor during day games, and they think that the Braves are possibly cheating during night games?
Oh, I love it. I want to know more.
Yep. We'll dig into that one on the next show.
That would explain a lot.
It would explain a lot. So, all right, Dougie. All right, audience. We will see you next week.
Thanks for watching.